Welcome to the Cultural Division's 2020 Emancipation Celebration interview series, in which we interview some of Dominica's cultural icons. On this program, we speak to one of Dominica's cultural stalwarts, that's Derick Peters. Ra, you were very instrumental in the creation of a new genre of music in Dominica, which is Boyo music. At the time of its creation, how was it for you being part of that experience in creating the Boyo music?
Well, coming up with the whole idea of Boyo music was something really fascinating to me. First of all, there was Cadas already existing, which we were very proud of as Dominicans. But now, when the band started off, we playing other styles, which is like basically like calypso, have a calypso kind of a feel. And I feel to myself, there was something, needed changing in the way the band was performing. And I think it was lacking in some kind of originality. So I came up with the idea of putting something that will be, Dominican, something we'll be proud of, coming with the name Boyo and mixing it with our cultural rhythms, which we have the Lapokabwit, we have the Bele, we have the Jingping, and of course any other thing that could work within the formula. So that's the whole concept of the Boyo music. So we came up with that, and I think to myself that would really propel us and really make a difference in the music.
Do you think that the Boyo music has changed through the years? And if so, what is your own thought on the evolving of the Boyo music?
Well, most definitely music will always evolve, and from when Boyo music was came by the concept and the initial, I always knew that it would develop because it have other aspects that that I needed to, and we as the nation and as a whole, and everybody that was playing Boyo music would put their own style to it. It's just like Kada Slipso. You had groovers, had their own groove, you had Black Affairs, you had Exile One. So naturally, different artists or bands would come in with their own flavor. And of course, as your generation would change, then you'll find, there's other things that will be added onto it, So I would expect it to change. And we know that would naturally happen. It would naturally evolve.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, there's also a demand still for the original Boyo music, hence the formation of the original Boyo Pioneers, which you're a part of. How has it been getting back together with some of the original creators of the Boyo music?
Well, getting back with the original band is a real great idea, but now is to get the real energy, because that's what people are looking for. When they say they want to see the band, the original band play, they want that energy, and that is what is needed. So to me, it makes no sense that the original comes together and you cannot give the same energy, because the energy is of the people, and you have to bring it to them. They give you the energy and you give the energy to them. So that is what they're looking for, the original style. And that's why some of the things, the elements that were put in there, it's so original that, a lot of people, even the orchestration, the instrumentation, the lyrical content and all that, I think that's what people are looking for. They want that cultural touch. They want that real touch, that make them be part of the thing. Like when the music plays, they could see themselves in the music. That's what it is about.
What would you say some of the highlights of your career?
Well, some of the highlights, I would say one I remember, well, it's quite a few, but I could start with, name one or two. A time when we played in England in a club called Shinolas, and they had to shut down the club because the amount of people were calling in, they couldn't accept nobody else. So I said, but whoa, you mean to tell me that we huge like that? I mean, people come from all over England. Fast Preston, Leeds, because we're playing London Central. And another time we played with a band called Aswad. But Aswad is a band that is a reggae band that I look forward to. I really look up to, you know, growing up listening to Aswad. And we had just played in New York, I think maybe about a week ago, the weekend before, which was Labor Day. And we, you know, it was Smokey, Irvin, Philip, and myself. We went to the show along with my brother and a couple other friends. And when I see the reception that they had compared to what we had, I realized now how big we were. So that was one of the highlights that I remember. Of course, doing one of the first Creole festivals, that was one of the big highlights too. Of course, you know, getting Boyo music to reach that kind of a level where you have the whole Caribbeans is sought after Boyo music, where, you know, Boyo music is getting so excited, even the little baby can move to Boyo music. And, you know, when you see the amount of musicians that gravitating towards Boyo music, you know, I think to myself, that's one of me personally, greatest achievements, you know?
Yeah. Life has been impacted in Dominica and the rest of the world by the advent of the COVID-19. It has also affected shows and events in the cultural arena. As we now seem to be emerging somewhat out of the COVID-19 situation, what advice or words of encouragement would you want to give to artists like yourself and persons in culture?
Well, I would like to tell them, you know, to most importantly, preserve the culture. You must preserve the culture, because if you don't preserve the culture, then what you're going to present to the world? You know, you must present and preserve what you have, because I could see, if we don't look at our whole Dominica, you know, image when it comes to culture, it will disappear rapidly, because right now we're getting a lot of influences coming in rapidly. And I would think, you know, the powers that be, whether it be government, whether it be whoever, cultural division, whoever that have that, you know, influence to encourage, you know, preservation of the culture, because, you know, otherwise they will have nothing. And of course, right now you'd see everything will be, as they say, is going to be the new normal, because, you know, the whole business of the entertainment and people gathering and stuff is gonna change. And I don't know how we're gonna deal with that. You know, I know there's the data kind of an issue coming in, meaning that everything is gonna go online. So it's a new change, it's a new time, because where you could go to an arena now or to a stadium and watch a show, you know, everything is going to be happening on TV and on internet and wherever, you know, those kind of social media. So now we have to look at that. But most of all, I think we should preserve what we have. That's our culture, which makes us uniquely us, you know. I think we should preserve that.
And as we wrap up the program, Ra, for yourself personally, how do you see your future involvement in music, in arts and culture?
Well, my future, I really look like I feeling like my future is right now, because some people live one day at a time, but I live moment by moment, because every moment to me is golden. So I take it moment by moment, and I can't say, well, you know, what's going to happen in the next 10 years, but I could talk about now. And what I do in the now, which will have impact in the future, is to make sure that we influence the new artists coming there, give them the proper advice, give them the you know, help, you know, share your experiences with them, let them know, you know, that we need to preserve the culture, you know. Of course it will evolve, you know, and it will have other influences, but no, we just have to be careful, because that's what Boyo music is about. It's not only about like, all right, our iconic, our culture, which is unique, but no, to bring in couple influences that can work in harmony with our culture. You know, it's not just sticking ours and just shove it aside, but no, to, you know, incorporate, as we say, is a bouillon. That is what it is. It's bouillon.
Thank you very much, Derick Peters, for joining us on our Emancipation Celebration interview series. I want to wish you continued success with your career. I'm Raymond Lawrence on behalf of the Cultural Division.
Thanks very much.